Hi, welcome to this second part of the Downward Dog tutorial with me, Colette, and the lovely Frankie demoing for us today. I have split this into two parts because Down Dog is really a complicated pose and there are lots and lots and lots of refinements that you can bring into this pose, and a lot of them, came to me much later in my practice, in my yoga journey. So I want to share those today. First step is to get the foundation and those principles really integrated into the body. So that's in the first video. And in this one, we're going to look at really finding as much length as possible through the spine and then getting as much integration as possible through the front body, which is often a piece that's left out. So we'll begin. Frankie, please come to all fours. The first principles that we talked about in the first video: spread the fingers wide, root down through the palm knuckles, claw the finger pads towards the palm knuckles, and hug the muscles to the bones as the arms reach towards each other across space. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, sail the sit bones back in space to Down Dog. Frankie's got great external rotation of her shoulders, and you can see she's always extending from her shoulders as they're reaching up and out and away. Frankie, bend your knees quite deeply, and now lift your sit bones high. And when Frankie does this, you can start to see that she gets more of a curve in her low back. And actually, I'm going to say just walk your feet back a little bit. Now bend your knees, and we really want to find this curve here. Reach your sit bones even higher, 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 higher. Yes, lovely. Swoop through the low back. Okay, and what we can see though is that the front body is really reaching towards the thighs, which is good. We're going to keep all of that and now integrate the front body, Frankie. Yes. And then you can start to reach the heels towards the earth. And now see if you can integrate the front body more. Draw the front ribs in, bring the pubis towards the sternum, and think about lifting the sternum away from the earth more. Yes. Now extend from the shoulders, press into the earth, reach the sit bones high from there. And it's finding this dance between the integration of the front body and the lengthening through the spine. Come to rest in child's pose. Like, woohoo, was there a while. Because it's a fierce pose. There's so much strength and so much going on within that pose. But when we find that integrity and that integration, we can find that softness inside of it. Beautiful. Things to remember in the refinement. I shall just give you a little reminder. So when we get into the pose and we've extended, bend your knees deeply and get a big curve through the low back by reaching the sit bones high, and then integrate through the front body as you extend from the shoulders and reach the heels down. The other thing you can bring in on a refinement, so work with the extension, the lengthening of the spine and the integration of the front body, is rooting down through the big toe mount to really light up through the inner thighs. So let's just add that piece on as well. So Frankie, please come back into Down Dog and come back in your own time. Great. Let's work through the first two pieces. Yeah, great. So bend the knees deeply, find this curve in the low back, so really stick your beauty up way, way high. Great. Now integrate the front body. Draw pubis to sternum. Draw front ribs in and really think about getting that chest higher. Yes. Now press the earth away. Extend from the shoulder blades. And now think about rooting down through the big toe mound to light up the inner thighs, and then spin the inner thighs back and wide more to get even more lift through the sit bones. Take 2 breaths. And take child's pose. Great. How did that feel, Frankie?
So nice.
Yeah.
Strong.
And when you found the engagement, what was the big toe mound cue like?
Lit up the inner thighs, really strong legs, really strong body and core, lit up all the way.
Yeah, and it's that when you then feel strong, you're like, okay,
I can hold it.
I can be here. Yeah.
You
You can do this. And you've got that support going on in from the front body and the back body, because you know it's always like, yeah, lengthen the spine, do down dog, and that is great, but we can't stay there for too long if we're just all like this. We've got to have that integration and everything rippling and locking up into place. Great, thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Enjoy, play. If you've got any questions, then just let me know. Thank you. Namaste.